All right. Today I'm gonna go over this brilliant queen sacrifice. Um, my rating is like 1600 something, but that doesn't matter. We just gonna go into this game. He plays e4, and yeah. So e4, that's kind of standard. Everybody kind of plays e4 or d4. Um, but whenever someone plays e4, I usually go for the Carl Khan kind of game, so I go c6. He goes d4. That's normal, that's standard, that's all book moves. And then I attack the center. We gonna play the exchange variation, so we gonna take in the center, and we both got pawns, but you see he has only one center pawn, which is the d pawn, and I still have my e pawn, so I think I'll be better in the center a little bit. He's gonna play these moves. I'm gonna go back to this move. When he plays h3, it's actually kind of like to block my bishop development, because now my bishop has like no good squares to go to. I can't go to f5 because his bishop is already right there. So, and I can't really block the front of my other pawn. So I'm just gonna have to have a closed game when it comes to the bishop. My bishop's gonna kind of be blocked off this game, but it is what it is. So I just play e6 to stabilize the center more, and I can develop my bishop now. So, and I'm just about ready to castle, but before I castle, I want to make sure he doesn't have any like pins on my queen, so I go ahead and play that move. I usually don't play this move. I usually let them pin, and then I go queen b6, so that way I can attack the pawn on b2 if his knight isn't developed. So he goes with an inaccuracy, and this is a knight move. During the game, I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to take it, because if I took it, then his pawn would be attacking my knight, and that would be an automatic tempo based off of just a trade. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it. So I developed my knight, but they say that that's not really the best move. I'm thinking the best move probably would have been just to develop it on its normal square. But I mean, I wasn't really, tripping about it, because I could just take back with the bishop, and then I would have some kind of development for my bishop, and I can castle in the future. So I take it back. He goes with that move, which is a mistake. But, during the game, I'm thinking, all right, he's going to go that way. So I'm going to go ahead, and when he trades this off, I'm going to have control of the c file. So I'll let him take, and then I can take back with my knight, and then we'll have a little bit of a, interesting game. So he does this move. I'm not really sure what this move does for him. I'm not sure why he played it. He doesn't have anything for me to take right there. He doesn't have any pins or anything like that. So he doesn't. His queen's not right there. He might be preparing his bishop to get on e1, but I'm not sure. So I go queen c7. So now I have like complete control over this file, and I also create like a bishop and queen connection. But the pawn on e2, on h2 is not there, so it's on h3. But if it was right there, that would be a pawn to take, but there's nothing to take right there. He develops his bishop, so I'm thinking, he's just having a little bit of slow development. There's not really much you can do. He's probably getting prepared to attack my queen on a5, so that's probably what I'm thinking. So I just go ahead and castle, because I feel like that's the best move right there, but it's not the best move. And then he goes queen g4, which isn't an accuracy, so I'm not really sure. I know what he's trying to do. He's probably trying to just like he's trying to sacrifice his bishop. Well, he can't really sacrifice it because the queen's pinning the pawn on g4, but he's basically just trying to go ahead and get the mate out of here, you know what I mean? Just go ahead and attack for it. But I attack fast with the pawn on f5, and that way it attacks his queen, and if he takes back with the bishop, or if he moves his queen, like, you know what I mean, I kind of just slow him down. I got a little bit of a tempo, or, I just kind of move him around a little bit. So, but yeah, so the best move would have been just to go ahead and do this. I'm not really sure why this is the best move. I mean, I can just show the move, I guess, but I'm not really sure why this is the best move. Yeah, it doesn't really look that good, but I guess I guess if you was to take back with the queen or the knight, if they traded the bishop on f4, then it would be, I guess, winning for black. But it is still a 1.7 advantage. I play this knight move. I'm thinking if he trades this dark square bishop off for my knight, then I'll be pretty good. But if he doesn't, then I'll just probably if he moves his queen, then I can win the light square bishop, which is a little bit better when you're black and you trade the light square bishop off. Then that means you don't have many problems for the king side, because your king is normally going to castle on a light square, and if it castles on the queen side, it's going to castle on c8, which is a light square. So you don't really have to worry if you trade off the light square. So he's going to go this move right here. I'm not really sure what this does, because if he takes the knight, then I get to take the queen with my bishop. So I don't think that was his idea, but I think he was kind of just trying to keep his queen like centralized a little bit. So I go knight d5, which is a missed win because I had the opportunity to threaten checkmate. So right here I could have gone queen, and then I could have threatened checkmate. But I mean, I don't think he was just gonna let me checkmate him. So I know he was gonna like play something like I could have saw, or something basic. And he goes right here. I'm not sure why he does this, but I guess he's attacking my knight, but my knight's defended. So I just go rook right here because I'm doing a little bit of a rook lift, and I'm like, all right, I can get my eyes on that pawn that's on g2, so I can do that, and then it's going to be pretty good. But he goes right here, and this is where I'm starting to think in the game, okay, my bishop is on d6. So if my bishop's on d6, it controls that h2 square, which is like, okay, he trades his queen. If he wants to attack my queen, I can just straight up sack it, or I can straight up take it. And if he takes back with the bishop, well, that's his only move, to take back with the bishop, really. Then I can just go ahead and take back with my rook. So that's the brilliant move, the queen sacrifice right there. And I take back with my rook. So now he only has his bishop to defend right there. So everything I'm trying to do is kind of gearing towards attacking his king, so that way his bishop is left alone. And also another reason why I traded the queen is because I have 19 points of material. His bishop is pinned, so that's -3 already because he can't really use his bishop, and he only really has his queen as his only active piece. His knight and his rook are both out of the game. They're both inactive right now, because if he moves his knight, I'm going to take his rook. But I mean, it's not really much you can do right here that's really, really good. So I have a lot of attacking pieces. So I feel like if I trade the queen right there and I go ahead and always constantly threaten something, I'll be a little bit better off. So right now, I played this move. I felt like in the game right after I played this move that it would have been a little bit better if I was to just try to trade off the light square bishop, because he couldn't really defend it. But then if I did that, then he could have brought his knight out, and then it would have been a big old problem. But I'm thinking, so I got my knight right here, and if my knight is in front of my bishop, when I move my knight, it'll attack his queen, which is kind of, obvious. You can see that. But I guess he moves his queen right here. He's attacking the knight. So I'm going rook g6. This move right here, I'm attacking the pawn right there, and now I can prepare to do other moves. And he does this, which to me I felt like wasn't really the best or the strongest idea, because I could really take it and kind of take his queen, but I can't really take his queen yet. So I'm just thinking, he can't really attack my pawn on b7. So I'm just I don't know what this move really does, but I do know that I smell a checkmate coming. I don't see the eval, or I don't see the bar where it says I'm up 8, but I still feel like I'm winning even though he has a queen. So he goes here. I'm like, okay, I'm not really sacrificing my knight or anything like that, but what I am doing is I'm opening up my bishop. I'm opening up my light square bishop for the h1 square, so that way if he ever does move his king and I can take his bishop, I can have sometime a check or even a possible mate on e1 or on h1 rather. So he goes queen here. Right here, this is where I'm like, okay, he's trying to attack my rook, and I'm just like, wow, if he takes my rook, then basically my whole sacrifice was worthless. So I can't really let him take my rook like that. And he's attacking my knight, but that's not really a good trade. So I'm not really sure what he's trying to do right here. But I go ahead and check him. I know he can't take back with the bishop because it's pinned. And if he was to move his king to attack my knight on g2, then it wouldn't be a really good move because, well, it would be an illegal move because he couldn't do it because my bishop controls that whole entire file. So he kind of is forced to go on the side of the board on h2, which means that he does that. So I can take that, which means I'm no longer in check. I mean, not check. I'm no longer, like, my rook is no longer being attacked by the piece, so by the queen anymore. So I can go ahead and move it, like, and take the bishop, and now I have, like, I'm completely winning at this point. I don't really see how I can lose because even if he, like, develops everything, it's just kind of like he's clustered. His king is, like, done for basically. Right here, he goes for queen e2. So I'm like, in the game, that's not even what I'm looking at. I remember earlier I was trying to set up the h1 checkmate, and I'm thinking, okay, my first rook controls the g8 or the g8. It controls the g8 or the g file, and he can't really move on the g file. But if my rook comes down and it's completely defended, he can't take the knight because that's going to be a ladder mate. So he does this move, but I can now do this, which is checkmate right here on, like, top of the board, and he's just, like, completely lost. So that's how I sacrificed my queen. I'm gonna go back to it right here. It was one of those sacrifices, but I feel like it wasn't really, like, that bad of a trade in the first place because I'm winning 8 points of material. I win a rook and I win a bishop with check. So I'm feeling like, that might be 8 for 9 and the queen might be stronger, and you can definitely win with the queen up. But it just felt like a really strong move when I played it, and then I was like, I got control of his h2 square, so I don't really think he can do much. He doesn't have much activity. His rook is kind of closed in. His bishop is, like, gonna be gone once I take it with check. So that's basically it for today, and yeah, subscribe and come back again.